How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on Chemo 365. Now, as many of you know, a couple weeks ago I bought my first AK-47, the Visca by Century Arms. And I know it's getting off to kind of a rocky start here on YouTube, but I still can't wait to test mine out. In fact, for me, what it represents is a budget, entry-level, American-made AK-47. So I started thinking in my head, budget, right? Right around $599, that 600 mark. How much more AK can you get for twice the amount of money? And luckily for me here in Las Vegas, I got the Arsenal guys out here, and they sent me this rifle right here. This is their SAM7SF-84. Let's get this under the camera and see if it's worth twice the amount of money. Okay guys, first things first, before getting this under the camera and having a closer look, I want to show you guys how smooth this action is. And I don't know if it's because it's forged for 3 hours, and what that does is it gets all the impurities out of here and it lines up all the grain in the metal, and then it's milled for another 5.5 hours. There's almost 9 hours in this receiver. That could be a reason why this is so smooth. But let's have a look. Underhand. Oh yeah. What about one finger? Let's one finger it. Ooh. Man, that is smooth, guys. Let's flip her over, get a magazine in here, and see how tight the fit is. Okay, before stuffing magazines into the well here, I just want to show you how clean it is in here. And let me zoom in a little bit so I can pick it up. And just have a look at the machine marks right in this area. It's so clean. You're going to notice the absence of rivets on the inside because when you have a forged or milled receiver, it's stiff enough and strong enough that it doesn't need those supporting rails on the inside. Look how clean it is. Machine marks right in here looking real nice. Nice and tidy. Really nice. All right, let's stuff some magazines in here. This is the 10 rounder that came with it. Little Arsenal stamp on that guy. Back and forth here. Nice and solid. Good stuff. Let's get the mag pull in here. Mag pull. Ooh, that's even a better fit than that 10 rounder. So fit and finish on point as expected. Alright, I figure since we got the rifle upside down and we're in this area, we might also have a look at the trigger. Here we go. Ooh, a little bit gritty, but really light. Let me reset it. Let's see here. Reset. Alright, back on it. Ooh, that's really light. We'll do one more, and then I'll get the gauge on it. One more. Ooh, a little bit mushy, but really light. Okay, let's get it in here. Put that down for a second. Right here. 4 pounds, 9.6 ounces. 4 pounds, 2.8 ounces. Really decent trigger. It's a little bit squishy, but pretty light. The hook in here. Bring that straight back as possible. 3 pounds, 6.1 ounces. You know, that's not a bad trigger. It's a little bit squishy, but really light. I like it. Alright, check out this donger of a muzzle brake on this AK-47. And the reason I'm saying that is you're normally going to see it on AK-74s. AK-47s normally have that kind of a slant muzzle brake, but check that out. And it also adopts the right-handed thread. Check that out. Let's loosen this up and have a look at the button here on top and the threads. Yep, all of that looks good. What I want to do is play with this guy right here. Yeah, that button's looking good. And you can also start to see just how thick and nice the finish is as evident here on the front sight post. And you can kind of see it drifting down back here. But man, look at that thing. Bazooka. That thing's gonna be great. Let's move more to the rear of the rifle. Ooh, check this out. Close-up view of the muzzle brake just to show you guys just how clean the machining is on that. That's pretty sick. Here's the front sight post. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Now we can see that finish. Nice, thick. That's going to last a really long time, unlike the parkerization from the Visca. So just the overall fit and finish of the rifle is looking really good. And there's your bayonet lug. Let me kind of zoom out a little bit here and kind of scoot over so we can see that. So the cleaning rod's not installed in there because it says on this packaging not to install it. That's the only reason it's not in there. It probably has something to do with the folding buttstock and how it locks in, or It probably prevents it from locking in, so I'm going to leave that out. I hear a lot of people complaining about it bending anyway when it's in there, but that's why the cleaning rod is not in there. Now, the barrel is made in Bulgaria, in the Arsenal factory in Bulgaria, which is a totally separate company than the Arsenal in Las Vegas. We got a chrome line hammer forged barrel, so it's going to give you everything you need to be really accurate, really good rigidity. And the important thing is chrome line barrels are very resistant to corrosion, and they're easier to clean. It's going to last a super long time. You can put a lot of rounds through it. And the last thing I want to focus on here is the gas block right here. So this has a 90-degree gas block versus the 45-degree. Whether or not that's an advantage is something that the internet is arguing about. It's just something I thought I'd point out. Let's move to the rear of the rifle. Moving back from the gas block area here, we have the gas tube area, and the finish is uniform there. Looks nice and even. Going back to the polymer furniture, let me stop off right here. And I guess it's because I grew up in the 80s, and I grew up with Rambo 1, 2, and 3, Chuck Norris, Arnold, you know, all those movies had wood furniture. And I get it, though. This does look a lot more intimidating, and I'm sure it has better advantage, a lot more durable than wood is, but I guess it's growing on me. But, you know, right here is the latch for the buttstock. When it folds over, there's a little loop we're going to see on the buttstock. When you fold over, it locks into that. And you're going to notice here a lot less rivets than a stamped receiver because you don't need it. It's got good rigidity. Let me see if I can flip over the mag well here so we can see. No, not really. When I take off the dust cover, you're really going to get to see how thick the rails are on the inside for a milled / forged receiver. And it really is a heavy duty type of receiver compared to a stamped. Mag release, standard size, kind of tiny. I would like to see a little bit bigger of a mag release on there, but still really nice. And the nice thing about this one has a nicer grip on it. Let me see if I can get it into the frame here. A nicer pistol grip on that compared to kind of the standard one that's on the Visco. Like I said, I can't wait to get those back to back so you can compare them. Let's move on to the buttstock. Alright, here's a quick look at the safety, and all I want to show you guys are the notches that are cut into the receiver. That is ridiculously good. Let me just bring it down here so you can see the safety one up there. And not too stiff, you know, very responsive. And we're going to be able to see when I flip it to the other side that you can actually control this with your thumb, which is nice to have. Check that out. Alright, this button right here, you're just going to depress it. It's going to fold over, and we're going to see on the buttstock right here, that little loop. Boop, there it goes. It's going to latch in right over here. Bam, and it locks in just like that. Doop. And that's how that works. And you notice you still have access to your charge handle, and because you can manipulate the safety from the other hand, this is a fully functional right folding buttstock. Okay, we're sliding down the left half of the rifle. I just wanted to show you guys just how simple, minimalist, and clean that tubular buttstock design is. This right here is just the other side of the buttstock button. So you press that, that pops out, and the buttstock folds over. Sling swivel right there is your safety selector that can be manipulated with your right thumb, which is a great thing. And then, of course, you have your side scope rail mount right there. Let me reposition myself so we can have a better look at this area and slide more to the muzzle. Alright, I'm going to sneak in my thumb right here so I can get it on the safety selector. So there are 3 advantages of having the buttstock fold over to the right side. Alright, not like an underfolder or a left side folding. You can keep your optic on your side mount here when it comes over, because if it folded to the left or went under, it would hit this. So because it folds to the other side, you can keep your optic mounted. You still have access to the safety because you can manipulate it from this side, and you still have access to the charge handle. So this is a fully functional right hand folding buttstock, which I really like. Now I'm going to come further this way just to show you guys how clean this receiver is, because it is milled / forged. It's so clean, guys. The lines on here are beautiful. You have some cutouts here to reduce the weight, because milling is so much heavier than a stamped receiver. So you'll see these on both sides. But let's go further down this way. And just to finish our tour of the SAM7-84, here is the front end here. And I just want to continue showing how nice the finish is. So what I'm going to do next is take off the dust cover, the handguard area, and see how straight the barrel is to the receiver. Alright, before getting into how straight the barrel is plugged into the trunnion and the receiver, let's have a look at the furniture. So polymer does have a nice little palm swell up here. You have a nice little heat shield in here so it doesn't get too hot when you're shooting it. Here is the gas tube. The gas tube polymer cover there is really nice. Finish is very uniform to the rest of the rifle, and that's why I wanted to show you the dust cover, just to show you guys, man, that's a really nice job in making sure that the finish all over the rifle. It's pretty neat. Let me show you inside of the receiver. All right, let's pick it up and have a better look. There's a better look at that grip. Man, that is much more comfortable than some of the other stock grips coming on AKs. There is a look at the mount, the side mount there for your scope. Nice and even. If this is crooked or too far off a center, you're never going to be able to zero in your scope. So it's nice to know Arsenal has taken care of that for us. And just how oh man, look how clean the lines are on this. And again, you got these little areas cut out here to lighten the weight on it, because this is milled. And not only is it milled, but for the first half of its life, this receiver was pounded, hot hammer forged for 3 hours to get all of the impurities and voids smashed out. It's got all the grains lined up in the right direction. And then it's another 5.5 hour CNC milling process. So they really did go above and beyond with this receiver. Now you can tell that this is a milled receiver when you look at the front area of the receiver here. You can see that it's milled and not stamped, because if it was stamped, then it would just be a rectangle. You know, you wouldn't have these areas filled in here because it's not milled out. But hell of a, oh my god, just really nice job. And this feels just a little bit heavier than a stamped AK. But let's have a look at the barrel alignment. Okay, I got the buttstock folded over so we can have a better look at the barrel alignment as it relates to the front sight posts, the trunnion, and the receiver. Remember, it has to be pressed in there with this pin, and that's what the Visco was having issues with. At the James Yeager event, they were able to just take a punch and a hammer or sledgehammer and punch that through. That shouldn't happen. That has to be put in with like a 5-ton press, so it shouldn't come out there as easily. And what was happening is the barrel was walking forward in that direction, and that was leading, or could lead, to excessive headspace, which is really dangerous when shooting. The gases escape around the corner, and you could essentially have a head separation from brass. But this looks nice and tidy. Let's have a look at the alignment. Take a quick peek here through the trunnion, and bingo, you can see it right down the line. Sights are nice and straight. Gas block down there in the front. Really nice work. The other thing I wanted to show you was the rear sight. The metal that they're using for this rear leaf here is way more high quality than what's on the Visco. You can just tell just by feeling it. But that looks nice and tidy. All right, final thoughts on the SAM7SF-84. Is it worth the increase in price? Absolutely, guys. If you just do the math and add up all the upgraded parts, the muzzle brake, the chrome line hammer forged barrel, the receiver that has 9 hours of work because it's forged and then milled, the fact that you can take the buttstock, fold it over, and still have access to all the controls, it is absolutely worth the price difference. You won't be disappointed. Go out and get one of these guys. You are going to love it. Alright guys, that's the ending of this review. If you liked it, please give me the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to Kimo365, please do. And remember, I'll catch you guys later.